Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Dada's Show, coming to you from Clean Start Africa headquarters here in Nairobi. I'm your host, Ashiko Umbune. As our name suggests, Dada's Show aspires to promote the spirit of sisterhood, solidarity, and inclusivity. And we do this by creating an open and a safe platform for women to discuss any and all issues ascertaining to their health and well-being, their lifestyle and careers, their families, among other topics. We also take pride in having the conversations that matter, not only to women, but to societies at large. Today, we open a deeply human conversation about life after incarceration, the silent battles, the search for belonging, and of course, the courage to rebuild your lives in a world that is very quick to remember our mistakes. So joining us today, we will hear the voices of resilience from women who have not only survived but have lived through the systems. We will also explore what true healing looks like, both emotionally, spiritually, and mentally, in the hopes that even you can be able to learn how to embrace the spirit of acceptance. As always, we welcome you at home to take part in this and any other conversation that we may have across all social media platforms at KBC Channel 1. You can also reach us on Facebook at Dada's Show KBC, or reach me personally at Ashiko the Host across all social media platforms. We welcome your feedback, your opinions on this and any other episode that we have aired previously. Remember to like, to follow, and to subscribe. Before we get into today's very, very powerful conversation, let's take a look at the following feature.
For many, freedom means stepping outside prison walls. But for hundreds of women across Kenya, freedom is only the beginning of another struggle, the fight to rebuild life beyond bars. At Clean Start Africa, women leaving prison find more than just skills. They find hope, community, and the courage to begin again. Here, every stitch, every loaf, every lesson is a step toward rebuilding dignity and rewriting their stories.
Wakati nilikuwa ndani, niliweza kuwa najifundisha tailoring, na wakati nilipotoka jela, sikuwa na kitu ya kuanzia. Hata kama nilikuwa nimejua, sikuwa na hiyo capital ya kuanzia kazi. But wakati nilitoka, niliweza kushikwa mkono na Clean Start. Wakaweza kunikopesha pesa, na zaidi wakaweza kunifundisha zaidi, kujua tailoring zaidi mahali sikuwa nimejua. Na venye waliweza kunikopesha nikaenda nikanunua material, nikaweza kuanza kuwa nashona pillows. Nikaweza hiyo venye nilikuwa nashona pillow kidogo kidogo, narudisha loan, wananikopesha ingine, nikaweza kuwa na stock ya pillow, na nikaweza kuwa naweza kulisha mtoto wangu kwa sababu nilikuwa na mtoto jela wakati nilitoka. So nilitoka nikapewa mzigo yangu, nikaambiwa sasa ndio mtoto wako chukua. So venye nilikopeshwa pesa na Clean Start iliweza kunisaidia kwa sababu unaona nikaweza kuongeza stock ya materials za pillow, na wakanifundisha zaidi mahali sikuwa nimejua kabisa design za pillows. Hapo ndio niliweza kupata capital yangu, na nikaweza kuwa na hiyo confidence ya kuongelesha customers. Because unaona ile ukiwa ndani uko na ile weakness ya uko na ile kauoga ka kuongelesha watu. But niliweza kusoma mambo mingi katika Clean Start na kuwa na hiyo kujua kuuza na kuongelesha watu. So Clean Start ilinisaidia sana hadi wa leo, nasema tu asante na wabarikiwe.
Through mentorship and training, these women are transforming pain into purpose and proving that second chances change lives.
Some of our products that we provide, we educate our women on making of charcoal briquette. What we do is we collect some of the raw materials, that includes charcoal dust and the potato peels. The advantage of this product is that all the materials that we use to make the charcoal briquettes, which is the final product as you see here, they are locally available. They are everywhere within this country. Also, we are able to clean the environment because once we collect these these products are unwanted. They are byproducts of things like charcoal and the people who make local foods within our industries.
Life beyond bars is not just about freedom, it's about forgiveness, resilience, and the power to a new start. Edna Murungi for Dada's Show.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the first part of our two-part series dubbed Beyond the Bars. On this episode, we will listen to the voices of resilience, and we will get to understand what it really means to have a second chance. So joining us in this discussion is Betty Kaguhia. Thank you so much for joining us. Karibu sana.
And thank you for having me.
Okay. Right next to her, we've got Nelias Mweni, who is a counseling psychologist. Karibu sana, Nelias.
Thank you very much, Ashiko. Happy to be here.
Thank you. And finally, we've got Carol Thairo, who is also one of our important guests, a formerly incarcerated woman. Karibu sana, Carol.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, I cannot fail to acknowledge my wonderful, wonderful audience who are here with me, and you at home who sit and listen and take part in our conversations as we heal, as we learn, as we unlearn, and as we support each other through conversation. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate you. Welcome to another very illuminating conversation that we're going to have, and I'm really looking forward to this conversation. It's something that we have wanted to do as the Dada's Show team for a very long time, an opportunity completely knocked down on our doors. So asante sana to Clean Start for this opportunity. Let's start from the beginning. First of all, I want to thank you both, actually, for sharing, for the courage to share your stories. This is not something that I take for granted, and I truly appreciate you, Betty and Carol, for making time to sit with us. So how does it actually feel to share your story publicly? Because this is national TV, not to give you any pressure, but how does it feel to share your story publicly? Start off with you, Betty.
Okay, so thank you so much for having me. For me, sharing my story is both, it's humbling, but it's also empowering, because for a long time, stories of formerly imprisoned women have often been, silenced and misunderstood. So for me to have an opportunity to share my story, it's not for me myself, it's also to give a voice to so many women who are trying to rebuild their lives. And every time I share it, I hope it reminds a woman somewhere that, your past doesn't have to define your future.
It's true. Thank you so much. That is so powerful. What about you, Carol? Uko wapi saizi? Where are you mentally? Because I know Betty has done previous interviews, but for you, this is the first one. How are you feeling? Where are you?
Thank you for having me. First of all, I'm nervous. Yes. I have that fear because this is the first time I'm sharing my story out. I have shared indoors, but not like on a TV station. So I'm kind of nervous. But also I'm hopeful that my story will enlighten other people, will help other FIWs, so that they can come out, so that we can fight like maybe stigma and all those kind of things. So I'm hopeful for it. Despite I'm nervous, I'm okay.
We are here with you. Remember, this is an open platform. I believe everybody is here to support you. And Karibu sana, of course, I have to applaud you. I feel like I would actually be a nervous wreck if I was sharing something so personal. So I commend both of you. If you can hear us, we are using the term FIW, which is formerly incarcerated women. In the spirit of changing the narrative, we opt to be politically correct and not use the word ex-con. So for the sake of this conversation, we will be referring to my wonderful guests and some members of the audience in the correct term, which is formerly incarcerated women, FIWs. Let's move on to the next question. Now the meat of our conversation, tell us about your journey. How did you end up in prison? Let's start from there so that we can carry on. What happened?
My journey of incarceration started in 2012. I was working as an accountant, and some money got lost during my tenure. So that is how I found myself through the court process and the legal journey. Yeah.
Oh wow! What about you, Carol? How did you end up behind bars?
I was working somewhere in a restaurant, a bar and restaurant during the night, and I came during the night and I found where I used to stay, there was a mob justice case of people being beaten because they were stealing.
Yes.
And I didn't know anything about it, but the person we were living with also was, the guys had stolen some things.
Yeah.
So when I came, I called the police.
Yeah.
I knew the police of the area, so I called them. And they said they'll come later because they were held somewhere else.
Yeah.
They are coming. Now that was during the night. They came in the morning actually. They didn't come during the night. In the morning when they came, they didn't found the mob justice.
Yes.
But because I had called, they said I was one of the mob justice people and 2 people were dead. So they arrested me. That's how my journey started. They arrested me. They told me to go in for questioning and everything.
Yeah.
Then they arrested me. I was in remand. I was not convicted.
Yes.
I stayed in remand for almost 6 years. Then I was given 3 years probation. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I mean, I'm really looking forward to hearing the rest of that story because it looks like, you know, there's some injustice. There are question marks all over the place in what you're talking about. And I believe that's the power of such kind of sessions. And we are hoping that we will actually have another one where we will be talking to industry experts to highlight what could have gone wrong. Why were you held in remand for 6 years over something that you were not even involved in? Okay, so tell us a little bit more. Now, what was your experience like? I'll just carry on with you, Carol. What was your experience like? So this is how everything has happened. Umejipata wapi? Umejipata remand. What is the process like? Ukiingia, unapelekwa wapi? You know, share with us.
Okay, thank you so much. So when I was arrested, I stayed in police station for almost 1.5 months because the investigating officer didn't have anything to charge me with. So I was like, why am I being held here in the police station? And they say, you're supposed to be here for 14 days. After that, they took me to court. Then I was taken to court. I took the plea.
Yeah.
Now I was taken to Langata Women Prison. From Langata Women Prison, I was taken in January 2011. Then my case was being reallocated up to June of that same year, 2011. So it took 6 years because when I went there, the judge I was given, the next time I was, okay, it was a capital offense case.
Yes.
So you're not supposed to talk on your behalf.
Yes.
You either have a lawyer or you're being given one by the government. So I was given one by the government because it was all of a sudden they gave me a lawyer. So when I was given 2011 June to go for the first hearing, my lawyer didn't show up because he had an accident a long time ago, and the case that he was supposed to be, I think, being paid or something like that, was the same time as my case. So he preferred to go to that case and not mine. So I was given 2 days. So he didn't show up for those 2 days. So I was relocated up to November. When I went back to November, the judge was being transferred. So the judge was transferred, so I didn't have a hearing on that November time. So December you can't go to court on a capital offense case because the judges go on recess, something like that.
Yeah.
So I was given the next year, June. So when I went, I found the judge. We started the case with one witness, but the witness was bribed. So the second day I went, I did the case. Then I was given another 4 months to wait.
So now in total, we are looking at how much time between going to courtrooms, between who has been transferred.
I used to go like two times.
You know, and a duration of 3 months in between. 3 months, 2 months, 3 months, 2 months.
In the course of 5 years,
yes,
maybe 8 months,
yes,
I had 5 judges and 2 different lawyers because my lawyer also failed me at some point. He didn't, most of the missed hearings, my lawyer didn't used to come. So I requested for another lawyer. I told the court I can't be given a hearing date and it's a long hearing date, then the lawyer doesn't show up because he has other
engagements, apparently.
So I had 5 judges because when a judge comes, he wants to start the case afresh. He doesn't want to read the file. He wants to start a case afresh. Then You go the next time, the judge is not there, there's another judge. So I had 5 judges in total.
That must have been so demoralizing. Now, let's go back to, so there's this that is happening, which is out of your control. You know, you're trying to get, you know, a hearing, you're trying to get good lawyers, you're trying to get proper representation, that's not happening. Let's go to you're now in remand. How was that experience like for you?
It was traumatizing. First, I was young. I was 22.
Oh my.
I was a young mother. So my first story was about my kids. I had left my kids all of a sudden. I used to tell that investigating officer, I have kids. I have small kids. I'm also young. And he's like, utatoka tu. Don't worry, utatoka tu. So in remand, it's not what you expect. You don't have your freedom. Everywhere you are going, you are being followed. You are being told what to eat, what to wear. All of you, life changes because unajipata, the way you used to wake up, I want to do this and this, you can't do it anymore.
Hakuna sasa uko system kabisa.
Place unataka kwenda, ni lazima uambue kwenda. Yani you don't have that freedom. Then you are here worried, watoto wako uliwaacha aje, I used to provide for my kids, nilikuwa naishi nao peke yangu. How will my kids take this? Watasoma aje, watakula aje, walikuwa wamezoea kukaa na mama yao, you see. So I was traumatized.
Of course, sasa hiyo quality imebadilika.
Kuchanganyikiwa.
Kwa sababu especially kama wewe uko convicted,
I was not convicted.
So
I was
every
in
week
remand.
you think next week naenda home, next week naenda home.
Unakuanga ile the next hearing unapewa, you are busy waiting for it. Unaiombea, unafanya nini?
Unaenda mtaani.
And kuna ile unafikiria next nikienda nitakuwa nimebakisha time kidogo tena nitoke niende nione watoi wangu, life goes back, but it was like haiko hivyo.
I mean, I'm very curious to hear what your healing journey was like, but let's move on. Let's come back to you, Betty. Betty, what was your experience like?
Let me start with my legal journey. It started in 2012 when I was arrested, but I can say I was fortunate enough to just be out on bond.
Yes.
So my case took 5 years, but for the 5 years I was outside. I was convicted in 2017, so that's 5 years later, and I was convicted to serve 2 years. I never went to remand, so I went from being outside to the main prison.
Yeah.
So for me, I can say incarceration, that was the most defining moment of my life, because forget about losing your freedom. Being in prison, it strips you off of your dignity. You lose hope, you lose yourself, you lose your identity, because to them you're just a number.
Yes.
You're just another criminal. So being there in prison was quite hard, because it's a new experience. You know, everyone fears prison. Ask everyone. The things people fear, prison, no sicknesses. Prison is always in the list.
It's always somewhere there.
Yeah, so now you're like living a nightmare. You're there. You've left I left my child with my sister. So there's a lot that goes on. And I think for me, I was supposed to serve 2 years. I served 4 months, but I can assure you for the first 3 months I was numb. I really didn't allow myself to feel. I didn't want to feel, I didn't want to think. I was just living. So I just took a day at a time, and until I got out.
Until you got out. Yeah. I want to get to the point of where you will tell me how it is when you got out. But there's something very profound that you've said. It strips you of your dignity. Nellius, as a counseling psychologist, what does dignity mean to a woman behind bars? And how can women hold on to it when everything else is being, I'll use her words, stripped away?
Thank you, Ashiko. Now, when you talk about dignity for women behind bars, we are talking about something that is beyond appearance and status.
Yes.
Okay. So it's that deep sense of inner worth and self-respect, the identity we've already given ourselves before we get to that point. And our personal possessions have been taken away from us.
Yes.
So for a woman behind bars, it's you wanting to be seen as a human being for starters. There's something that Betty has said that has really struck me. You're stripped of your sense of identity. So for a woman behind bars, it's you wanting people to see you as a human being and not a prisoner. Okay? It is reminding yourself every day that you're still a mother, you're still a daughter, you're still an important member of society, that you still matter. How we can hold on to this sense of dignity is small acts of self-care, like, personal hygiene, cleaning yourself up, washing your clothes, taking a moment to reflect, prayer, journaling, and even supporting the people with you're together in that environment. Because remember, they're also battling something deeper. Like when she says she got to a place where she became numb.
Yeah.
It's a survival strategy. It's not a place you ever envisioned yourself being. So you have to find a way of surviving. So the easiest thing to do is to numb. So how about just finding ways, like taking a moment to reflect and journaling, this is me today. At this moment, this is what I'm feeling. And also prayer, that seeking support, to a power that is beyond you, that is higher than you, and supporting those that are around you. These are symbols of dignity, preserving dignity.
Preserving it.
Yes.
In a place where your rights have actually been legally taken away.
Yes, and also remember, and when I was starting, I said external freedom.
Yes.
External freedom, because that is what we may not have so much control over.
Yes.
But there's inner, freedom. This is what you use to control your inner world. Yes, I am here. I do not have the power to take myself out of here, but I have power to control my mindset when I am in this environment. And once I have built that strength within me, then how can I support this person, maybe who could be struggling more than I am?
Yeah.
And tomorrow it's going to
system.
be you. I will be leaning on your strength.
Okay. Thank you so much. And I really, really, truly hope if there's an opportunity for even women who are incarcerated, or somebody, you can pass on the message of what our very able therapist is telling us. Now, so we've talked about the process before. We've talked about while you're in there. And I know that there are so many nitty-gritties about even the day-to-days, what it looks like, etc. But we will not delve into that today. But let's talk about why we're here as a formerly incarcerated woman. Take me back to the moment of release. What is the first thing you felt, and what did freedom mean to you?
That day was just a normal day for me. I was working at the dispensary. Yes. So when I got the call to go to the documentation office, that was a very normal occurrence. I used to go there a lot. So I go in and I see my probation officer. And at that point, you're even afraid to hope because you've done the pre-probation interview to just see if you can be released on probation. So I didn't expect to be released that day. So but when they told me you're out on probation, it was, at that point, freedom meant seeing my kid.
Yes.
Freedom meant just going home and just having a cup of tea, going home and just watching TV and staying up late. At that point, that was freedom.
Yes.
So it was quite surreal.
Yeah.
And going out and stepping out of those gates 4 months later, it might not seem like a long time, but it's a very long time. 4 months later, I'm out. It was very profound. I still see that day. I still see myself outside those gates.
You still remember it and get goosebumps?
Yeah, goosebumps, yeah. It was an amazing day because I did not expect it. You're always counting towards that date. So for me, it was a surprise that was very, very profound and wonderful for me.
Betsy. I mean, I can even envision that you're not anticipating that to happen and then it happens. Wow. What about you, Carol? You had been waiting for that day. Every time through disappointment, ups and downs, what was it, that moment, what was it like for you?
I had gone for my judgment because I was given a probation officer. So the probation officer came. She was supposed to to fill the forms, to ask you questions and everything. So I was waiting. So 2 weeks, I was supposed to go to court. I went to court. So within those 2 weeks, we didn't find my file. My file vanished from the courtroom. We didn't find it. So the judge was like, why is she here? Why is the file and everything? But the file went missing. So the judge said, because let me tell you, the judge that released me was Justice Resit. She was the second judge in my case. She was transferred and she went to another place, went for around 4.5 years, then came back. So when I was told I was sent back to her court, she was like, na wewe si nakujua? She was like, nakujua? And I was like, yes, you handled my matter a few years ago. And she was like, you're still here? And I told her, yes, I'm still here. So she said, "Hii file naitaka." And then when she took the file, she read the file and she told me, I'm giving you 2 months. 2 months, I'll either convict you or I will release you. I can't have a case I left here behind and it's still here. So when we went for that after 2 weeks, after the probation office report, the file went missing. And she was like, if the file is not here, then she can go. She can walk away. It means, where's the file? It's in the archives. So it means she was released. She can just walk away and go. And the court was like, no, we are waiting for the file and everything. I was given 2 weeks. Now those 2 weeks, I didn't even know I was going home or anything. I was like, the file has not been found or anything. So I was like, Ile, you are just there. So when I went on that day, I was like, we are just coming here to confirm if the file is here. So when we went, the file was there. And then the judge started reading the file and she was like, hii kitu utaisomea huko kwa online ama place ingine. It's so long and you have stayed here for so long. I'm just giving you I'm giving you 3 years probation. Out you go for counseling and everything. You're free to go to your kids. Wow. And she's like, I was the first accused. There were 3 of us. The first accused, you need to stand up for the judgment. My legs couldn't move. I couldn't move. Oh, no. She has already said, I'm going home. Now I'm trying to wake up. I can't. My second accused is trying to leave. Then the judge was like, Mwache, let us. I was numb. I was confused. I was happy. I was thinking about how my kids will receive me, if they will be happy or anything like that. I was just confused. Tears just started streaming on my face. I was like, then the judgment was read and it was finished and we were told to move. I couldn't move. Can you imagine? I was being held by 2 ladies to stand. I couldn't stand. I was like, 6 years. 6 years I'm going out. 6 years, no police woman will ever follow me. No one will ever tell me what to eat. And I missed that moment. I was taken somewhere by my mom to take tea. Can you imagine? I requested, I didn't drink. They all ate, I didn't eat. I was just there, silent. And they were like, uko sawa? What do you want? Nataka kuona watoto. That was the only thing I used to say because I left my kids when they were so young. Yeah. So I was like, how are they coping and everything? But it was a good moment. It was a good moment. Yes, I really remember that moment very well. And it was, anyway, it was so emotional. But I thank God that day came.
Oh, wow. Whew, that's a lot. I mean, I have teleported myself into where you are, and you are truly exceptional. And I'm so, so happy that you got to see that. And I'm so, so happy that there's so many women even here in my audience who have gotten that opportunity. I mean, we truly do not take it for granted that you're here. That you're here and you're talking to us. And I'm sure even members of your family are so, so happy to have you home. I mean, let's talk about coming home. Let's be real. We are living in Kenya, and I don't even think it's only in Kenya, even globally. I want to start off with you, Betty. What are some of the biggest challenges you faced from family, community, or even self-acceptance? Because be it 10 years, 4 months, etc., it was something life-changing. So what are some of the challenges you experienced?
For me, I would say stigma. Stigma has to be the biggest challenge. Forget that, me, I lost my friends way before I was convicted. Yes. Yeah, so I journeyed with my family. And I can say I was lucky enough to have a family that stood by me, which is not the case for many women. Many. So I had family acceptance, and they stood by me. Through the court process, through prison, they came to visit me. But there's something about family. Not everyone in the family will accept you. True. I keep on saying this, there's still family that don't talk to me. Now, I don't know how many years later, post-incarceration, still some feel disappointed. And you know, for me, the community, I sit here and I say I'm formerly in prison. It took a long while. I didn't want that tag. I didn't want anything to do with prison or formerly imprisoned people. I hid. And you know, when I came from prison, I went to live with my sister. You know, I was living in another estate. Now I lived with my sister. And for me, that was for me a chance for me to just have a new identity. I didn't want that tag.
Yeah.
So because these people didn't know about my imprisonment, I didn't say it. I was just trying to have a new identity. I didn't want anything or any connection with prison or the courts or, you know, the offense. So because of, you know, how people just look at, you know, imprisoned people, you know,
There's a tag. You're
The-
very
yeah.
correct. There's a tag which is, of course, accompanied by emotion and biases,
yeah.
you know.
And you know, you can't even get employed. You have to lie, even when you're looking for employment. So, and then another challenge is just getting work. You know, now, yes, I was an accountant. I was having a good job. But now you're out. You've been having a case for 5 years. For those 5 years, you've not been working.
And you also don't want to expose yourself to your current employer and say, ninaenda
Exactly.
kotini.
Yeah.
Unaenda kotini kufanya nini?
So the best you can get is odd jobs. Odd jobs, cleaning for people, washing clothes for people. And you know, you're a mother. And you know, once you get out of prison, for me, my sister was like, here's your child. You have to support this child. So you have to do whatever it takes. So even getting a decent job, or the most you can get is just those odd jobs, just to, you know, hand to mouth.
What about you, Carol? You know, what are some of the challenges that you have experienced in terms of acceptance, you know, from family, community? I had you mention that, you know, your family came for you. So I'm crossing my fingers, at least you have that backup there. But how was it coming back into the same community? Because your case was something that was publicized. People knew about it. People knew Karo alifungwa juu ya hii story, etc. How was it going back to the same community that you know, that was the cause of all this?
Going back to the community, it was a bit hard. People had their own version of this story.
Yes.
I was arrested because of something, but people knew my story more than I did.
Oh,
So
wow.
they had
Okay.
their own stories. You try to move away from your past. You try to move from zile vitu zilikupata. Like in my case, I was innocent, of which people didn't know. I was innocent. I was framed on something I didn't do. But people are still there.
So we'll definitely explore ways so that we're going to take a short break, and then when we'll be back, we will definitely get into that conversation. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, remember this is the first part of our two-part series dubbed Beyond Bars. Today we are listening to voices of resilience coming from some of our panelists, our formerly incarcerated women, of the things that they go through. And one thing that definitely resonates is that the stigma is real. The stigma is following them everywhere, and it is something that needs to be addressed. And that is why we are holding this particular platform, so that we can be able to push for acceptance for everybody and inclusivity. So let's get right into the second session. Before the break, we had talked about we were able to go through and we were able to witness some of the trauma that the formerly incarcerated women have experienced. Betty, what does your healing journey look like? Do you feel like you have healed? That's the first question. And what does it look like? How did you achieve that?
My healing journey, I would say healing is a journey. It's never linear, like she said. It's just like you have to. There are days you feel like you've healed. There are days you know you've not healed. For me, my healing began with self-acceptance. I think for a long time, when I didn't really accept the past I went through a very dangerous path. But once I just got into accepting and even self-forgiveness, that's where my healing journey began. So it also began here at Clean Start. You know, when I joined the circles of healing, where we just, you just sit with other formerly imprisoned women and you just get to talk about what's going on, what happened in prison, what's happening when you're outside. It really helped with my healing journey. Also, I've healed through giving back. I'm also a TOT, so by going back to prison and taking the imprisoned women there, through the courses that Clean Start offers, has really helped in my healing journey, because now you're getting, as much as you're helping them heal, you're also healing yourself through going back to that place that nearly
Giving back.
destroyed you.
Exactly.
I can say there are good days and there are bad days, but I'm grateful for where I am at right now. Yeah.
Wow. So you've attributed, of course, to self-acceptance, support systems, and we will definitely get more from our therapists. But let's take a step back. You know, what kind of trauma do women, formerly incarcerated women, carry, and how can they begin to heal?
Trauma is not the event. An example of the emotions that we've seen with Carol. Allow me to use you as an example. That event happened over 10 years ago, like she said, but the emotions are very raw. So that is to tell you there is something that is happening right now, deep inside Carol. So I would say for formerly incarcerated women, they carry layers of trauma. They are the events that happened prior to the incarceration. Perhaps some of those events are the ones which have led them to the space they were in when they got incarcerated. And just to give an example, there could be a history of abuse, be it emotional, physical, sexual. There is poverty-related cases that push them to, survival, to lead them to crimes like theft, petty theft. Drug trafficking. So there is pain that has led you to commit something that you find yourself at the wrong side of the law. So there's also trauma that comes with incarceration. Let's just take the environment for starters. Lack of privacy, and also the language that is used in there. Remember, these are seeds that are being sown inside you. And all that, it's a pile up, especially if you do not have an outlet. And there is trauma that results from the stigma, like we've heard from them, how the society looks at you, the labeling that people get after incarceration, and not just for you, even for your loved one. I remember, again, Carol, please allow me to use you as an example. I asked Carol, what is it that you're afraid of most when we're just about to start? And she told me, I've never had an opportunity to share my story. Now, this is the national TV. How are people going to look at me? Okay? So you first need to realize it is out of your control how people are going to see you, how people are going to talk about you. What is in your control is your truth at this moment. Okay? This is who I am. And these are the steps that I'm taking. So if you avoid or run away from something, you will never be able to face it.
Wow, thank you so much. We also have the privilege of having other formerly incarcerated women in our audience, and we'd want to give them an opportunity to be able to briefly share their story and tell us a little bit more about what their experiences are. Millicent, karibu sana.
My name is Millicent Atieno, and I'm happy to have me here today. I would like to share my story. Nilikuwa mwanabiashara. Nilikuwa natengeneza peanut butter. Kuna ile kitu ilifanyika nikajipata niko Lang'ata Women Prison. Nikaenda hiyo kazi. Kumbe sikujua ni vitu zinaibwa. Na saa hiyo ni ID yangu imetumika pale. Ndio mimi nachukua vitu hapo hivyo nipeleke, lazima uache details zako hapo juu ndio umetoka na hizo vitu. Zinakuja zinachukuliwa baadaye. Nani mwenye atafuatwa shiko? Ni mimi na documents zangu. So wakati nilitoka tu nafanya kazi yangu kama kawaida, nikastukia tu wameshanisha round. Kumbe huku mimi natafutwa na sijui. So kupatikana nikashikwa. Watu wenye walikuwa wamenijua, nilikuwa natembea around mahali penye nakaa na mahali penye nilikuwa nikifanya kazi before. People wapo wananijua. So wakati nataka kuona mob justice kutaka kunipiga, hapana, wacheni kuchapa huyo mama. Amefanya nini? Hata kama amekosea muiteni polisi. So watu wakanisaidia, ikawa sikuumizwa na hii raia. Ni polisi akakuja nikachukuliwa. Hiyo cash bill nilikuwa naitishwa, siwezi weza kupeana. Mimi mwenyewe sina hiyo pesa, watu wetu hakuna mtu anataka kutoa hiyo do. So unashindwa, ndio government imenichukua niende nirekebike. Na sasa hawa watoto wangu wameachwa huko nje wanapotea. So kutoka hapo niona mambo kidogo kwangu si mzuri. Alafu hiyo stigma, mtu anakuambia unamjua huyo? Alikuwa jela na liba, atakuibia. Sasa hata hiyo kufua nipate kunawiri kwa maisha yangu na watu wangu ni shida. Sasa unapata tu ile family nilibaki nayo ni hapa mali tuko leo.
Wow. Our next story, briefly, Carol, karibu sana.
My story begins with love. I met this charming guy and tukakuwa na mapenzi for about 6 months, and he brought me a very nice phone. He was selling men's clothes, but that was a cover up. He was a thug, and he brought me this phone that was stolen, and the guy was killed. Wow. So we were taken with robbery, with violence. I was the one who was arrested because the phone, I was the one who was having the phone.
Yes.
But when I said who gave me the phone, akaniruka.
Wow.
So we were in for it, both of us. That's how my story started, and I was convicted for death. So I was serving a life sentence in Langata, but I did 10 years and 6 months.
Yes.
And of course, I could see other people going out, so I had hope. And I did my appeal, which acquitted me.
Yes.
My journey outside was not easy because I left children, very little children. My firstborn was 6 years, and my secondborn was 4 years. I found grown men. Bonding with them was a crisis. Me, I left children. I found men. Being a prisoner or being in prison, it won't limit you.
Yes.
And our past cannot define our future.
Yes.
So I'm happy to be able at least to encourage someone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much, Carol. I think that's the one story we did not hear, and I knew about love. And finally, Shiro.
Okay, story yangu siwezi sema ni love, ni peer pressure plus fake love. Okay, mimi kama Shiro nilishikwa sana 17 years. Wakati huo ni wakati wazazi wangu walikuwa na struggle na school fees, so nilikuwa shule, saa zingine siko shule. So katika hiyo harakati ya kuwa niko shule, saa zingine siko shule, so ilinibidi nijiforce kuolewa na mtu mwenye sikuwa napenda. So katika hiyo harakati, na huyo mwenye alikuwa nimejiforce kuolewa ni mtu mkubwa sana. Nilikuwa 17, yeye alikuwa mtu mzee kabisa kwangu, but kwa bad luck bibi yake akajua. So hiyo harakati bibi yake kukuja, alikuja tu amefungua mlango na akaanza kunifight. So ile tu Mungu tu, ninasemaga ni Mungu kwa sababu mimi sijuagi venye kuli happen. Ni ile venye alikuja na alikujaga na kisu, nikakuwa na ile nguvu ingine, nikamsukuma na ile kisu alikuwa anataka mimi, kesi yangu ni kama kujidefend. So unaona hiyo harakati ndio mimi hiyo nimeshikwa, niko jela. Mimba ya miezi 2. Kesi ya mada uwezi enda useme ati umekubali wa kuhukumu saa hiyo. Lazima unaambiwa rudi kwanza ufikirie chenye unasema. So hiyo harakati ya kwenda kurudi nikajikuta nimemaliza miaka 4 jela. Miaka 4 jela, nikazaa mtoto wangu, akafikisha mwaka, nikampea mamangu. Life, nikiwa pale prison, kulea mtoto ni ngumu sana. But nashukuru niliweza. Mtoto venye nilimpeana, nikafungwa miaka 6. Kutoka watu wetu hawanielewi. Okay, kuna vitu ninafanya hawaelewi, but mimi nataka niwaelewe. So hapo hatuwezi elewana. Kwa bahati mzuri, kuka happen kuna mmoja tulikuwa naye prison, alikuwa ametoka, Venye alisikia nimetoka, akanitafuta, tukapatana. At least huyu ananielewa, chenye nasema tunaelewana. Mamangu akasema hata nipea mtoto. Uzuri huyo msichana tukashikana, tukaweza kukomboa. Hapo ndio sasa maisha ilianza. Tumetoka, tumeanza kukomboa nyumba, sina hata shilingi. Lakini nashukuru Mungu, mimi nilipata clean start. Clean start venye mmoja wa wafungwa mwenye alikuwa ametoka ex prisoner akanitafuta, akaniambia kuna kuaga na clean start. So mimi siku struggle sana kwa sababu niliweza kupata clean start. Kama wazazi, unaona mtoto hawa wadogo wenye wamemaliza form 4, kama una pesa, at least umtafutie course. Usiache akae tu nyumbani. Hapo ndio wa youth wengi upotelea.
We have definitely come to the end of one of the most emotive episodes that we have ever had on Dada's show. I hope you've been able to learn a thing or two. I hope you've been able to take a walk in, this ladies' lives and see what they go through. I mean, I'm definitely happy that there are organizations such as A Clean Start, which we will definitely be hosting very soon, who are giving an opportunity to formerly incarcerated women to restart, to rebuild, and to reclaim their identity, all whilst they are healing. So we definitely are looking forward to that. As always, we welcome you at home to take part in this conversation across all our social media pages at KBC Channel 1. You can reach me directly at Ashiko the host and Dada's Show KBC on Facebook. Give us your thoughts and your feedback on this episode and any other episode. So on behalf of the production team at KBC, our very, very gracious host, A Clean Start Africa, myself, Ashiko Mbune, I wish you all a lovely, supportive, and a week full of acceptance, and I will catch you same time, same place next week. But for now, goodbye.